Hello, my friends. Hi, it's Natasha. I am back again. Here we are. Happy Tuesday to you. So I had an interview today and it went well, like in the time, like some parts my brain was like, I don't know what other people think about me. I have no clue. So like, I don't know, like those parts were a little bit like, nah, but like, I feel like I did the best I could, like, but in my mind now, I'm like, I could have said this. Like, it's like now that like the adrenaline rush of it all is over and I'm like, I should have said this, or, I hope this part of my, skills came out. So I don't know. It's just always an interesting experience. I don't do a heck of a lot of interviews. Like my life doesn't really facilitate needing to do those things. So like having to do one, oh my God, excuse me. Was just, it's just like, it's not nerve wracking. Like I wasn't like intimidated or anything. I did feel like a little bit nervous on the onset, but like, like through it was fine. Like the interviewer was super sweet and I really liked her. Like it was just like, it kind of felt like rushed and I'm just like, I'm not concise, like I can't get my point across quickly. Sometimes I need to just wrap it up, like be smaller with the wording, I guess. I don't know, but that's a work in process. I am who I am today and that's all I can be. So I did my best. I can't do anything different and it is what it is. But it's going to happen. It's going to happen. But I have to say, you guys, I have a problem. Like, dun da 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 da. Oh my gosh, isn't this a pretty girl? Like, look at how pretty she is. I don't know why sparkles like make me so happy. Like, this just brings me joy. It's like not much. Like I don't need much. I just need a little sparkle and leave a little sparkle everywhere you guys go today. Like sprinkle it out there. And I just love how many people get excited by my water bottles. And they're like, oh, I love this. Where did you get it? Like they're so cute. And I love that. Like I love that my water bottle is bringing somebody joy beyond myself. So that's like pretty cool too. Like it's making you smile. It's making me smile. Like, okay, that's totally worth it. So yeah, like how have you been? Like, I've been crazy. Like, I feel like I've been like, since Thursday hit, I feel like I've been on this crazy hamster wheel and I haven't really fully got like adjusted in. Like, it's hard for me to figure out what the heck day it is. Like, I've had to like 3 times be like, it's Tuesday. And there was a time change in there too, which just makes everything a little bit wonkier. However, I will say I had my dance class tonight and I drove there in the sun. It wasn't pitch black dark. And when I got out, there were still remnants of like daylight and I was like, yes, like that made me feel so happy to like have those extra hours of sun and life. And like it was so great today because I hadn't been to the gym on Thursday or Friday. Like everybody's like, oh my gosh, you're back, like where were you? Like I wasn't gone that long, but it just felt like so long. And so it was really nice to be back. And then they were all confused. Like, what? Did you get your eyebrows done? Like, I was like, no, I just put on some makeup today because I had a Zoom interview. And they were like, oh, okay. I was like, I was like, I didn't want to look like a bum, like, so they were like, oh, you're so funny. But yeah, I mean, you see, like, it's a rarity. I throw on makeup and this makeup is now, I don't know, 9.5 hours, 10 hours old, whatever. But like, and I've worked out 2 times and, whatever. So it is what it is. But, yeah, like sometimes it's fun to put on makeup. I want to go and figure out like any makeup artists out there. Like, is that your jam? Is that your passion? Like, teach me, young. I want to learn. Like, come apply my makeup for me, please. Like, I would love to learn like the proper techniques. Like, I have even tried like watching like the TikToks or like a YouTube that'll say, okay, eyeshadow for hooded eyes, or oh, if you're over 40, this is how you contour. Literally, I've never even used contour. Not contour. What is it called? Is it called contour? Concealer. Okay. I don't know how to use this dang thing. I don't even own this thing. Like, but I see on the thing, oh my gosh, there's like, I have seen these videos where it's like, someone just literally, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, how did you go from that to that? Like, stunning. Like, I'm like, holy smokes, like the things that you can do with contour, the things that you can do, I don't know how to do it, but my God, I wonder what I would look like with all that applied, I don't know, whatever. It's not that big of a deal, but I'm curious, you know, like if you know how, if you have any tips or tricks. I'm not saying I'm putting on makeup every day. I just don't have the time or energy. Like I have to now like take a picture and I'm like, oh, that means I have to wash my hair again. That means I have to straighten it. That means I have to curl it. And I can't do the curls either. Like it's either my crazy curls or the other ones. And then like I look at them, I'm like, they don't look good. Like I think they look good. And then all of a sudden my daughter walks in with her curls that actually look good. I'm like, what the hell? How do I do these so bad? Like, what's my deal here? I have naturally curly hair. It's gonna stick. I just can't do it. I can't figure it out. Like, I mean, I could, like, if I really had the energy, I will figure anything out. But I guess I just don't have the motivation for it for the, like, 12 times a year that I curl my hair. I don't know. Maybe I'll be bored enough sometime in my life soon and I'll be like, oh, I will master the curls. But again, I'm just now like embracing my naturally curly hair. And like I used to go get perms. I didn't know I had this naturally curly hair. So who knows? Like life is crazy, but I'm also turning gray. Like, you know, it's not major, but it's coming in. So I'm like, oh my gosh, like, okay, I will draw the line there. I am not ready for that part of maturity and wisdom. Like some grays are beautiful, and I think that mine would actually be pretty decent. Like it's not like a kinky kind of gray. It's like nice, like almost good look blonde, right? Maybe, but you got a little highlights here, guys. But no, so it's not like so intense yet, but I'm like, oh, couple more stressful situations. It might be time that I gotta, you know, hit the hairdresser and say, you know what, it's time. But I'm gonna let it roll out because again, I'm super frugal, so I'm gonna let the El Natural hair like just hang out and see where we go. So but look at this. This is something I'm not frugal about. Like, look at that. Stop it. Whee! It's so stinking cute, isn't it? Oh my gosh. I want to give you one. Can I give you one, please? So anyways, yeah, like when you guys go on trips, like, is it just me or does like your room blow up? Like, I was actually so proud because when I left my room, I was able to somehow miraculously keep it clean because I had done so much of the packing the night before when I did my whole wardrobe clean out and washing. Like, but now because I had so many things to get done today, like, and yesterday, I had to like complete this entire interview worksheet and I didn't realize it was like 15 pages long and like there was multiple documents I need. I was like, what in the heckin' sakes here? This is a lot of stuff. Like it took me hours and hours and hours to do the paperwork. I'm like, oh my God, I was literally up until 2:30 last night. And I'm like, I need to go to sleep. And then I got up early and I took my son to school and I did all my morning stuff. I went and danced and I don't know, it's just been crazy. But between that, right now, my room it just looks like somebody just took everything and just went whoosh. It is everywhere. I'm like, ah! So after I'm done here, I cannot live in that kind of chaos. This is going to be re-cleaned. And I wasn't here on Sunday to do like my Sunday self-care. And that includes like writing out my calendar and doing all these things. So I feel like I've been like, and then like I was cool. I was like vibing. I was feeling hecka good. I was like, okay, I had my like everything was prepared, nothing like I wasn't hurried. And then I suddenly get a call from my son's school and they're like, hello. And I was like, usually they text before. So I'm like, what's going on? But I hear the voice and it's because my kids get sick all the time or sick. And they're like, so I recognize the lovely lady's voice on the phone. And she was like, he's not feeling well. Can he go home? And I was like, I want to be like, no, he knows I got stuff to do today. Like I was very specific that I am busy and, you know, I appreciate he didn't call me during the busy time. However, like I just had gone in the shower. I was literally not dressed. So you know what? I was like, I don't have time to dress and then redress and then undress. And I just didn't have time and to go get him. I was like, fine. I mean, what am I going to do? Just leave him there? Cause he was like somebody from his team had gotten like stomach sick and then the other one got stomach sick. So like it is going through the team. Like there was only 10 kids at practice today. The rest of the kids were feeling ill. So there is definitely like a bug going through or whatever. I don't know if they're half tired, you know, whatever it is. So I was so frustrated, and I was literally reading my things. I was like, okay, I had to put on like Lilo and Stitch music. It was like, oh, la, 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 you know, like I know I just annihilated that, but like something so like that would just not make me angry. You know, I was like frustrated, and I was like, no, I don't want this angry vibe. Like, I don't want this frustration vibe. And I literally went and picked him up in my robe, straight up. It's just in my robe, not dressed underneath, nothing. I didn't care. I was like, listen, I got things to do. I don't have time to dress and redress. So there I am in my pink fluffy robe, and I was like, Lord, help me, please, please. Just do me a solid. Don't let me get pulled over. You know, don't let the car break down. You know, don't let anybody hit me. Like, let me just pick the kid up and get back. Because, like, I am literally just in a robe. And I didn't have time. And so, like, I had to, like, set up. I had so much to do. So, and I wanted to do my makeup, and I didn't want to feel rushed, and, like, do my hair and all those things. So, anyways, I ended up working out, but I started feeling really frustrated about it. I was like, okay. And then I was like, okay, it's fine. Like, I kind of calmed down, but I couldn't, like, really calm down. And so I had to be like, listen, I need to like meditate. Like, I need to just stop right now, because I'm feeling like super like ampty kind of in the inside or whatever. I could just tell I was feeling off. And so I went, and I was like, okay. So I did like a 5-minute meditation. I'm telling you, gosh, it was such a difference to just like, number one, for so many years, I never realized like what was going on in my body. Like, when I was getting like all anxiety or, you know, anxious or irritated or whatever, like, it just was like, I didn't really pay attention. I was just like responding to the emotions. But now, like, I'm like, oh, okay, this is going on. I'm feeling this. And I'm like, okay, like, that's fine. Like, you're totally, you know, it's valid, you know, that you're feeling this way. But like, do we want to sit in this feeling, you know? And it was like, not really. Like, is this a big deal? He's home, he's here, whatever, it's fine. Like, you're gonna make it. You had enough time built in. It's gonna actually be okay. And I took that 5 minutes, and I used that to meditate. And I'm telling you, it just made such a difference to just breathe and focus on my breath. And I'm not saying that it was an easy meditation and that other crap didn't come flying into my mind, but just taking that time to like focus on my breath, just like to like calm the crazy that was going on in my body, it made a world of difference. I came out of it, like, I finished it after my 5 minutes, and I just calmly went over and started my makeup, and, you know, like, I just put on like kind of a little bit calming music to like ease myself in, and then I kind of got a little bit, you know, I was getting ready to get back in my, like, you know, like hype your bestie up, like, let's go, we got this, you know. I wanted to be like in my energetic vibe and jam, you know. So I got back there, and I kept laughing because like my dress like had a button here, and every time I would sit, the button would pop, and I was like, oh my gosh. So I kept like trying to like sit and then pop. I was like, oh my gosh, how do I sit without this thing? And then like it's like all ready for the Zoom, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get up one of these times, and the thing is just gonna pop, right? Like, oh my gosh, it didn't, but I was like, holy smokes, like, why is this happening right now? And I can't go change. It's like literally the time. Like, and I like didn't plan on, you know, like I didn't like test sitting, you know, like, okay. And I wasn't in this, like, you guys will be surprised. I actually was in clothes that you guys have never seen me in, like, anything else. I was going to actually tape the other day. I was like, I'm just going to like throw them off and be like, I am not in my typical uniform today. And, but I didn't, obviously. So one day, maybe not. Who knows? We'll see. But I'm gonna take a sip of my lovely water. So, you know, I'm excited to get things like kind of semi back to normal. Like, I, you know, have no expectations. I have like wants and dreams, but like I have no expectations. Like, whatever will come of my life at this point. But, I have other great projects and things I'm working on regardless. And I'm super proud of myself. That's all I can say is like, guys in life and gals and non-guys and gals, whatever, all I can say is this is, in life, we really have to take those chances. I know it's so easy to sit back and say one day, I really do, because I've been there. And sometimes in some days, like in some situations and things, I'm like, not today. It's not happening today. Like there's other classes I want to take. And I'm like, one day, maybe next week. Like, I do have to balance it because I have so many things I want to and need to get done. Like there's many things I want to, and then there's those things that you like have to get done. And, it's not like they're the most joyous things or your most exciting things, but, paying taxes and, paying your bills and planning for the future. Like there's certain things that, that's just adulting. Like that's life, right? Like picking up my kids. I get to do that actually. Like that is a thrill because I'm on borrowed time here, sis. Like, it's not going to be for much longer. And so I say all that, like, I feel very blessed that my kids are around. And I feel very blessed that, I have this opportunity to see this portion of their life. I'm very lucky and blessed. In so many ways, like spending the weekend with one of my son's team was a reminder of every other of my kids' teams and experiences and how unique each one was. And just overall, how amazing all those families were and how many hours that they sacrificed and dedicated to their kids pursuing something that they really enjoyed. And, there isn't any one of them that I know that went on to become professional soccer players or professional baseball players or professional cheerleaders. But nonetheless, it was still very important to them. And it was still very important to each of those parents to support their kids. And I think that that's what life is, as we get older, we get afraid to take chances. When we're younger, we're willing to be like, I'll try basketball, or I'll try swimming, or I'll try playing the flute, or whatever it is. And then as we start getting older, I don't know what happens, if it's like the cost or the the time commitment, or if your friends are doing, is it not cool? Like it seems like we become a little bit afraid to take these risks and chances. And, I, for one, have done that in so many times. And like, even now, like there's things I've done. So like I'm writing and I'm filming, but yet I haven't really like exposed it to the world yet until you're seeing this. And then it's like, yay, she finally did it. And I know my personality. I know I'm determined. And I know it's not that I'm waiting for the right time. It's just, it just hasn't happened yet. And I'm there, I'm close. And so I'm very, very close. And every day I'm getting a little bit closer and closer, and everything is starting to make sense. Like all of the little pieces and all the little parts of me are coming together in a way I couldn't see before. So like the big picture is coming together, and this is like a part of that big picture, having this experience, sharing these things, and hopefully, wherever it will go, like ideally I would love to be in a situation where I could go and speak to big crowds and like be involved, or even go speak to a small crowd. Like I would go to a high school gym and speak to some, like I would love to like be interacting with people and be part of a community and, be somebody that you can look at and be like, this girl is just like me. Like, like no offense to me, like there's nothing different or special about her. There was nothing like some easy way, or she was friends with this person who helped her on here. It was just determination, hard work, consistency, and she did it. And like, if she can do it, I can do it. So like, whatever it is, I just say, go out there and take the chance, like take the risk. And I know it's scary. And I know if you're in your teens or your 20s, it may be a little bit easier, but really, I feel like I'm living my 20s and now in my 40s. And if I hadn't, like, I was talking about this yesterday, like if you're in your 20s, go take the risks, please go take the risks, like go do the things that are going to feed your soul. And it may not be the first thing you choose is going to be like the business you work out for the rest of your life. But it will put you on a path to say, I loved this, or I didn't love this, or like you tried, you experienced life, and there is lessons in that. And so I feel now, as my kids are approaching this next phase of life, which means I'm approaching a next phase of life, like I feel like I have that 20-year-old spirit within a 47-year-old body. And at first you're maybe thinking like, but on the same turn, like I am in better health than I was in my 20s, like physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, like I got it together. Like all those insecurities, all those fears, all those worries, all that anxiety, like something I would have felt today would have been crippling, like I would have possibly yelled at my son. I would have not communicated. I just said, I was doing something very important to me. Like, this is so frustrating. I'm feeling frustrated. Like, I can express that and say, like, here is my experience. Like, and he was like, I know, I tried, and I think about it. He said he's not feeling well. I'm going to take his word for it. Like, I don't think he's just sitting here like, oh, how can I mess my mom up? How can I make her day a little more challenging? I don't think that that's the case whatsoever. It is what it is. So, I guess that's part of life, right? Like unexpected things happen and we have to be able to adapt and bob and weave. And it was fine at the end of the day. So I didn't have to let it get to me. Like choosing to just be different than I was is a huge accomplishment. It is something that has changed my life. It's so remarkable that it's made my relationship with my children better. It's made my relationship with myself and others better. Like life is richer when I am choosing to show up as the person I want to show up as. And it takes work. It's not natural. So it's not easy or just defaultly going into this manual drive, like this default like drive. Like I have to put it in manual and I have to think about it and I have to adjust my settings and say, how do I do this? Like, and I have to think about it. Like today I'm like, I can tell I feel this way. What are some of the things that I can do to help to ease the situation? I understand why I'm feeling this way and I've it's already done. So like, why is it still lingering on? Like, what is it bringing up? Well, for me, like I said, it's that whole, like, you knew this is important to me. When something is very important to you, I'm very respectful of your thing. It just, again, makes me feel, it's not that it's true, like it just, brings up these emotions of feelings of like the people around me not valuing me and, taking me for granted. And again, for so many years, I put me aside. I did not value myself and I did not require anyone else around me to value me either. It was just, as service to them. And I didn't really exist as a person in a way, like whatever I was doing, it could be dropped. It didn't matter in a sense. Like, what mattered was them, and now I'm getting to the place where it's like, no, I matter too. And it's not that you don't matter. It's just, I matter too. And it doesn't mean like I need to drop me all the time for you. And there will be times like today, he's not feeling well. I'm going to drop what I'm doing in order to do that. But other times, like I am learning to say, I'm sorry. No, like you can go, but I'm not, you can walk home or, whatever it is, because I am important and you are important. And so like, it's really important to understand that, what we're experiencing isn't always just at the surface level. And so like for me today, it was obviously something that was a little bit more that triggered like an irritated response. And, again, like I handled it well. Like I did everything right, like I didn't say anything. Like I hoped he feels better, but like, besides driving around Pleasanton in a pink fluffy robe, I didn't do anything that I regret. And that's huge. Cause I mean, I can tell you that, parenting isn't easy. And for me, I don't know if it is for you. And there's days that it has its challenges. And sometimes you like lose it. You're like, seriously? Like, this is important to me, and that would have been a way in which I would have responded previously. But now I had that time. And, I could go back to my, daily dose of dysregulation. When I'm dysregulated in that shower, it's very similar to this emotion, right? Like this feeling, like it's not exactly the same, but it's like my body it doesn't like what it's experiencing. And so being able to just breathe and quiet and figure out what is going on. Okay. It's huge. It's been huge for me. So I'm super proud of how I handled that situation, and that I found and had like the tool to know, hey, I know sometimes when you feel this way, like the meditation works. Let's try it. And there was no guarantee it was going to work. And perhaps I would have tried something else different had it not. But I was like, as soon as I started, I was like, yes, this is exactly what I needed. And so I'm so grateful, because now it builds that courage and confidence. So like I can retrieve that even quicker the next time I'm feeling something. It's like the more I recognize how I feel and then apply a solution, and the more comfortable I become of it, and the more consistent it continues to work, I get stronger and stronger. It's just like the workouts. It's just like, right? Like I would walk a block and be out of breath. Then I would walk two. It's just like, it's building a muscle. And so like I'm building these emotional muscles and these tools to deal with what's going on in my body and in my mind, and, connecting the two together so that I can be this person I want to be, right? I want to be a person who is spreading joy. I want to be a person who is very supportive. I want to be a person who is receiving joy and who is being supported as well. Like, this is the world I choose to live in, and this is the person I want to show up as, because I really do care. Like, I adore people. Like, I loved hearing today's stories. I was like, so how was this? Like, just hearing their situations, back at the gym, because I missed a few days, like what was going on in their lives. Like, I learned I didn't know this, that like I have a friend who's Persian, and it's going to be a New Year's soon. And so she's been very busy. And then we talked about Persian food, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'd love to talk to you about Persian food. And I was like, never mind. I'd love to eat the Persian food. I don't know. I'm like, I've had Afghan food, but I've never had Persian food. And she was like, oh, it's so good. So I'm like, do you know a good restaurant? She's like, yes, but I'm like, I bet you just cook it better. So why would you go? And she's like, exactly, So, again, like, I just would have never known that had I never spoke to somebody else. And so, and found out like about them, like it just opens up my world. And I love it, because it's like every time my world opens, like the colors of the filter, like, I always picture these like glasses I have on, like we all wear these glasses, right? And they all have different filters and rainbows and things like that on them, and we see the world different. Some see it very dark, and some see it very colorful, and some have a lot of breaks and things like that. And so it's like, it's just adding more colors and more life and making everything more vivid. Every conversation I have with somebody, every time I do this, and like, hopefully soon there'll then be feedback, and you guys can, leave me messages and share your stories and experiences. Cause like, that's what I want, is like a community. Like, I really do think this life is meant to be lived like a tribe. Like, I believe it does take a village, and there has been times in which I have had a village, and I'm so fortunate for that. Like, when I needed it with my kids, like sometimes the village was family, and sometimes the village was friends that became family, that feel like family now. Like, this is so crucial. It's too challenging to go about this life alone. Like I say, I am not super artistic, but there are people that are. I'm not a big passionate cooker, but there are people that are lovely chefs, and just, this is their jam. It's not mine, but it's theirs. And I think like, if we could all focus on what we do, like where our personal strengths are and what things like fuel our souls, this world would be so much better. And then like, okay, like some people are really good at accounting and like love math, like let them do all the accounting and math stuff. Like, then there's other people who aren't. Like, let them do what the things that they are great at. Like if we were all just allowed to do what we were great at and what we wanted to, and like it wasn't like decided by money or like, you know, how much you got paid or, you know, where, you know, you lived and all, like it would just be such a nice place. Like wouldn't it? Like what is it? Like what is one thing that like you just, if there was no objections, if there was no like, you know, oh but it doesn't pay enough, or you know, like, oh, my family wouldn't support this. Like, who cares? Like, say none of that existed. Like, there was no objections. Everyone supported you. Everyone loved the idea. Like, you were happy. Like, what would you do? Like, what would you do? Like, where would you be spending your time? What would be the things that would, like, bring you that kind of just extra special joy and love and just fulfillment, and like where you could just get lost in your work? I'm so curious to know, what is it like? Because like for me it's this, for me it's sharing it, for me it's like learning all the audiobooks and the YouTubes I watch and things like that, like, and writing. Like that is where I feel super happy. I love my dancing. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not like, and I'll goof around in my room. I'm still not at the point where I'm like, yeah, I want to take it on as a responsibility, because it's just fun for me. You know, it's like, it's not like I don't have any responsibility to anyone. I don't have any like, okay, you know, I need to learn how to do a proper warm up and cool down. No, I'm just here to have a good time. And so I'm still appreciating that section, although I'm still leaving it open to like maybe integrate some, dancing, like maybe have like a dancing version over here. So like, or, you know, whatever, because it is a huge part of my life. So again, that's like a TBD, maybe, I don't know, could be, I don't know, we'll see. But for now, I'm really content with doing my writing and doing this. And I'm really excited because I've bought my domain name, and I'm hoping to like now figure out, okay, the next step, I got a name. Now what do I do? Now what? And I really want to start, like, I'm waiting until like I launch, until like I really start utilizing it. So that should be soon. And I think that this is really special because I want you guys to see, like, from the low down dirty beginning. And again, like, as for now, like, I am not editing because number one, I don't have the time. Number two, I don't have the skill set. And number three, like, I just want to be real and authentic. I want you to see the mess ups and the blurb ups, and because you know why? I'm human. I'm sorry. That's what I am. And I'm not perfect, but there are thousands of people out there who are publishing polished, beautiful content with perfect microphones and lighting and lovely makeup and hair and aesthetic, and that just isn't me. Like, I am just raw and real, and you get it, you get what you get, and you can love me or hate me, and that's totally cool. Just please be nice. Like spread something nice, or just say nothing at all. Like that's all I ask. So anyways, I am so glad I got to spend some time with you today on this happy little Tuesday. And I really appreciate you so much for tuning in and listening to my babbles of my crazy little life here. And I hope that somewhere hidden in there is a nugget or something that sparks something in you that says, yeah, I'm going to take that risk. Yeah, I'm going to apply for that job. Yeah, I'm going to take this class. Yes, I'm going to do this. Something that you want to do, but yet you have something that is holding you back. Like, try it, experience it. And you don't have to stay. Like, if you go try a class and you don't like it, walk out. It's okay. Never come. If you're too embarrassed to do that, just don't come back again. It's okay. And there's no way you're going to know unless you do it. So live your life, because, you know, if that saying is true, we only have 40,000 days to live. Like, TikTok, okay? It's coming. You take advantage of it. Don't just get lost just watching other people live their lives, you know, on TV or on YouTube or whatever you know, medium you like to watch information on. So I say all that to say thank you so much again. Like, it means so much to me that you're even watching. And if you could just do me one huge favor, please go out there today, give somebody a big smile, give them a compliment, and just watch how they glow up. Thank you. Bye.